Hello guys, back again for another episode of my sewing sampler. I have been very busy in the background sewing away. Oh, I really love how this has turned out, it's so cute. Okay, now the last episode I did, I made this. Okay, so in the meantime I have got a bit of mark on here which is really annoying, but I think when I ironed, I've still got to do a little bit like to make some of the antennae on the butterflies, but I've mainly like just sewed them down across here. So I've got that one, hopefully that's in camera. Can you see? Yes you can. So I'm really happy with how these are looking. They're all just that little bit different, and you got to remember, you know, they go like that. So got a little bit purple. That's I used a lot of the stuff that I used in my slow stitching thing, which I'm still in the process of doing. This thing with Anne Brook. I've actually got, well, a bit off topic. I've gotten one of these which I'm going to stick that onto like that, and I'm actually going to hang it up on my wall, so you can probably recognize some of the fabrics that I've got in there, and I've still stitching in the background, and this is like a long-term project. So yeah, I've only really done that. And these, I love these, love the fabrics. So that's something I'm just doing in the background. Haven't really been very busy with this, which is very similar. So yeah, love that, and I'm using just some really nice favorite bits of fabric and all that kind of stuff. So this is the last one that I just love it. This is what I had for the retreat. The girls had this gorgeous fabric, and that's on the front as well. There's the little fox. So that's where I got that little fox from. And I didn't want to put too much on there, so I used the other half of that doily here. And I thought I wanted to bring out some of the colours, so I'm going to just put a lot of buttons and stuff on there. So what I would like to do, I've got, where are we? It goes like that. So I've got a few pockets, as you can see. It may end up being the middle one. I'm not sure how it's going to work. Definitely those two. So I have to have one, then have another one, then have another one. How's that going to work? So we're going to go like that. So one of these is going to have to be a middle one, which I think might be that. I think that lends itself out to be a middle pocket. So what I'm going to do, so as you can see, I'll sew along the middle of that one. All of them are going to be like that. So the pocket size is about that. Now I've got this old, oh, excuse me, just need a drink, an old button card, which I used, I had two, and they had these really pretty blue, you can even got a bit of a blue tinge to it, little pretty blue, where are my blue buttons. These ones had that one in there, and then the other one that I had these ones. So what I'm going to do is I'm keeping the original. The other one I actually made something out of and put in my heritage journal. So I've kept the original, but I want to have it about that size, and I'd like to put on some buttons. So I'm going to have it, always finding threads all the time. So I'd like to make a button card, like a really big button card, and actually put a lot of my favourite buttons all on there. Like I've got, this is like little Dutch windmill one and all that kind of stuff, and I've even got this little, you know, just favourite bits and pieces that I've got. Feature buttons. Where else? Yeah, you've got this beautiful one here. So a couple of bits of bling. I've got this really nice button there. So I've got to decide, do I want to, I think I may put it in here. I was going to put it in there because it's got lots of buttons, but it's got a few buttons here as well. Where else? Pick out some of the buttons that I really like. Those ones. These are really cute as well. A few little bits and pieces. Look at those, isn't that gorgeous? It's a ring. I want to take that off and maybe use that on the front of a journal. I think it's beautiful. It's amazing what you find in the op shops. What else have I got? Quite a few little pretty buttons that I would like to use it on there. So I've actually got a couple, so I might make one that's shabby chic, because my two favourite loves is shabby chic and like nature and woodland. So I might make two button cards actually, since this one's in the middle, and I'll do one in the shabby chic and one in the woodlandy style. So I'll have more of my natural, you know, mother of pearl buttons and all that kind of stuff. So put those there. So what I'm going to do to begin with, that goes there as well. Okay, so we've established, well, I've established I'm going to use that one. So got my little pages happening there. I think it's going to go like that. Yeah. So we'll use this one. So I want to work with the colours of that. So what I've done, just finished coffee dyeing some papers. This is my tester. It's just because I wanted 2 per page, and I copied this. I've done a couple. I think I've done 3, 8. There you go. So I'm going to have 2 per page now. Which one? I quite like that one. Okay. The reason why I've done these is because I've got quite a lot of these, and I was actually thinking of making, maybe not with such an elaborate cover, but still I've got, I wouldn't mind making a couple of these to sell. So it'll be something, if you are interested in me making something like this, let me know, and I could probably I'll make one and then put that on Etsy sort of to be made to order. So I've got enough that I could possibly make maybe 6 or 7 of them or something like that, enough of these. So that's why I'm keeping the original, because I'll have to photocopy that and make him into a button card. So okay, I'm actually going to do some of this today. So what I'm going to do, I was only originally going to make the one, but I think that middle part represents my love of both of them. I really do love shabby chic and nature stuff. So these are probably both my favourite styles, which is why when I did the retreat, I did that. Okay, here we go, line like this. I'm cutting it, where is it? Goes underneath like that. There it is. It confuses you because it's got staining of the coffee. Okay, now okay. So cut that one up. I think they come out pretty good. I sort of wanted it similar colouring to that, and I think they look pretty good. Now, there we go. Oop. Oh, don't do this to me. It can be a real rotten little sod sometimes. So the one that I'm making now is actually for myself, but I thought, I quite like these, and I think others may like them. I won't have it as full detailed. What I might do with the ones that I sell is I'll make up these cards and do all the stuff that I'm going to do today, and then maybe just attach one button on there, and then whoever gets it can put their own buttons and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to make some booklets to go into the pockets as well, so it's a bit of an ongoing. Actually, this sort of looks pretty cool. Okay, I had to put it onto the back of this, so I'm going to, where's my, here it is. Okay, actually don't mind that it looks a little bit ragged. Another cool day today. Been rather cold here at the moment, but I suppose it is, autumn can be a little bit like that. We are coming into winter in June, so usually May starts to get a little cooler. And of course, like anything, I will be sewing around the edge of that, because that glue stick, it holds it down, but sewing it will hold it down even more. Okay. And then by the time I sew in all the buttons, like I'll be hand sewing all the buttons, so I'll definitely be holding that down, that's for sure. Okay, it's one, and the reason why I cut them out, I was hoping to get a couple in there, but, and two in there, and then one here, but I don't think I can. Doesn't seem like it's sticking down very well. Okay. I've got to always do the edges quite well. So just put it onto a bit of cardstock to thicken it. It's got plenty of little button cards, but I managed to pick up the original with the buttons on there from an antique shop, so I was really lucky. I lucked out twice. Got the buttons as well as the card, which I really like. Okay, now Okay. Quite like how my the dyed paper's turned out. Happy with that. Now, this down. Where's my cutter? Lid on that. There we go. Open her up. Save that bit for something else. I might start from the top and then go down because sometimes this little baby can be a right pain like that. It hasn't been that long since I've got a new one. Doesn't take long. Hey. Probably should have inked it after I've cut it. Okay, maybe a little bit off on the top. Now, all's cool. I'm just wondering, I might decorate it how I want to decorate it first, then sew around it. So what I want to do is I want to put some stuff on there. So maybe have this, when I coffee dyed stuff, okay. Got to match it with, I do like that. I wanted to put some stuff on there because it goes clear and you can still see the stuff underneath, but I wasn't sure what I was going to do. See, I can't even tell the difference between the original and the other ones. Okay, put everything away and decide what to use. I think that's probably too busy. I've got this really nice, this one here, which I thought would go really nice over the fox one. Cut out my squares. Okay. I think maybe the fox and the butterfly. This way it keeps together for when I have to use it another time. This is so pretty. And my napkins I've got, and I don't know whether I'm going to use that one because I quite like it. So, got to remember we're going to be, will that be too busy? Or that's going to go in there and match that. Not that you'd see much of that anyway. Either that one or that one. Or that one. don't know. I think I'm leaning towards this because it balances out some of that. So I think these two. Okay, isn't that funny? Get the butterfly one out and you don't end up using it. But that's the whole point process. I love this too, the Peter Rabbit one. I think it's beautiful. But I just think it's too white. But the beauty of being white is it does go clear. But I might keep that. So I'll open this one up to begin with. See if it's... Nah, I think I do like that. Okay, made my choice. Okay. Now, I'll do the same with this. I'll just cut one corner. Might even just really like the flowers, so I don't want to cut them too much. Okay. Back. Now we're deciding I guess what we're going to be using and where. I do like the look of this in the corner, but then maybe just keeping some of that in the corner like that. Sorry guys, like that there, like that. Gonna have some of this. I'd probably like to just cut. Easy to cut when you haven't pulled the bits off yet. So stay. Now I've got to remember, you don't want to take away from the buttons either. Okay, we'll see what it looks like once all the layers have been taken off, and if we can still see stuff underneath. might go along the Eiffel Tower. Okay. Okay. It always looks nicer once it's down. Have that down here. What? Taking a little more off. There you go. It's funny, made in England, and it's got Paris on there. Okay, and then I'm going to have, what I've got here is some PVA glue. I'm going to add a bit of water to that. Yep. Maybe a bit too watery. Maybe a little bit more PVA glue. I only just got this little container from a friend yesterday. She was going to throw it out and I'm like, oh, I like that. I'll keep that. Perfect little pretty bowl for mixing stuff with. That's better. Feel like you're cooking. Now I'm going to put the lid back on here. Now is that going to go underneath? I think I will put it underneath. And then work on this one a little bit later. So, what I will do roundabout and use the other one later, and then stick this on. Okay, now what I've got underneath here is baking paper, which is pretty good. Okay, so okay. Gotta be really careful with this stuff because it's jolly fine. Okay, so I'll cut this off. The other bit I won't worry about. Just here, give it a bit of a wipe because we need to still put this down. Okay. I'll try and push the stuff, the bubbles out of it without wrecking the paper. Okay, there we go. Okay, now And we could probably just glue this and then stick that down and then glue over the top. I'm gonna, it's a good sealer anyway, I'll glue over the whole lot, but I've just got to be really careful when I put it down. And lucky enough I can still see the holes, which is good. Okay. Now I'll give it all a good coat over the whole lot. And then I might get my blow dryer out and dry that. I think it's a bit folded here. Oh well, you've got to be really careful when it comes to this stuff. We all do that. Ah, see, pushing me luck. If I be careful, might be able to rescue it without me breaking it. Yeah, you're probably all like holding your breath, like I am. Okay, here we go. Oh, okay, it's got a crease, but I don't care at this point. I wanted to keep it within. Okay, now, oh, that looks pretty. Trying to get the air bubbles out. Okay, so what I'll do with the other one while that's drying, and I might get the thing onto it a little bit later, is maybe cut out. Maybe have it along there like that. Now we've got to figure out what part of this is going to go where. So cute. I don't really want so much of the winter, so we'll cut that out. And we'll have it going in there like the other one. Better have it cut straight. Don't want to have the birdie's head. Ugh. Just wanted to tear it. I think there might even be another layer. It still feels a little thick. It's hard to come off this stuff. Bit of tape. Okay. There we go. That'll do the trick. Okay. Now that is quite thin, that one. So I have to be really careful. Oh, that is so cute! And then that's going to go underneath there like that. Okay, so have that there. Be careful. We want a bit of the see, it's drying flat. The other one, which is good. Now, this. Right. Okay. Now this is really fine, this stuff, so I have to be really careful. And be careful, I don't want the bird to get wrecked. It's going a little bit over the line, but oh well. There we go. Sometimes I don't mind that crinkly look, but I still need to be careful. And that's one of those ones I'm like, I don't know which one I like better. They both look awesome. Okay. Okay, put a little bit more on the top. Just seal it in. Have to be careful not to rip it. This is where you hold your breath. Okay. Wrinkles out of it. Be careful, careful. Anybody else like me that sits there and talks to their work? Okay. And that's enough, Susanna. We don't quit while I'm ahead. Oh, that's so cute. Okay. Hold that. Might pause it for a second How many minutes? 40 minutes. Wow. Okay, I'll be back. Okay. Well, they're sort of partially dry, but because it's sort of quite watery, I nearly wrecked the face here. Managed to sort of put it together, but it's still really wet, so I'm going to probably put these under some books just to dry properly, and then once they're dry I'll probably stitch around it. But where are we? Just to give you a bit of an idea of how they're going to look in the little, in my folio. Oops. Move this out of the way. Okay, so that one's going to go in there, and then this one will go in here. Like I said, you won't be able to see a heck of a lot of those ones. And then it'll have some of the, you know, buttons that I really like. I may not even put it on all of them. Sew them on. This one will have some of those ones. Where are we? Okay, where's the other blue one? Blue one and brown one. They will probably have a few more buttons on there. So there you go. A little button card holder. Don't mind that. B. It's so cute. Let's look at this one. Have a look at that little worm. Isn't it good? Wonder if he could go up there. Yeah. Anyway, well, that's the process of it all. And I will catch you in the next one, where I'm probably going to show you how I make, actually I might make some journals, and they'll probably be about that size, maybe a half. I might use an A4 piece of paper, which is like that, and have a few journals about that size, which I'm going to make on the other side. Hang a minute. There we go. I'm only going to stitch on the cream, so you won't see that, but I definitely need for it to dry, and I may even spray some stuff over the top just to seal it in a little bit. I really quite like how that's turned out. They go really well. That would even work well on there too, but quite like that. Something about that that's quite nice. Okay guys, thank you very much, and I will see you later. Whenever I say okay, my Google always goes off. Yeah, I had fun doing these. I'll catch you in the next episode. Okay, bye.